We're going to talk about a shit test. Does anybody know what a shit test is? Yes? Okay. How do you beat one?
Agree and exaggerate.
Yes. Did you get that from me? Yeah.
What's a shit test?
Good question.
Or no, just be non-reactive.
Sort of yes, no. Okay, great. So I have an idea of where you guys are. A shit test is when somebody like teases you, right? You walk up to somebody and you're like, hey, what's up? I thought you were really cool. I want to meet you. And they're like, oh, nice shirt. Do you always wear that? And you're like, what's wrong with my shirt? Right? Or you and your friends are having you and your friends are maybe like at a club with a bottle. And you invite some people to come over and have some drinks with you. And they're like, oh, you only got Grey Goose? Is that all you can get? Like they kind of like tease you. And the person's doing it to kind of like see if you're as cool as you present yourself to be. Okay? They're seeing if you're as the person you show up as, because people aren't really sure. They have to find a way to like prove that very quickly. It's almost like if we were doing a business deal and you're like, yeah, man, I got like this really good company. I'm making like 6 figures a month in the company. I could ask you a business question, right? Like, oh, what's your expected run rate for this? What's your net profits? What are your margins? And if you can't answer those questions, I know you don't really have like a 6-figure business per month, right? Because somebody has that would know. So a shit test is a way when you meet somebody socially for them to be able to like tease you, question you, inquire, and to see if you're really that cool, suave, charming person that you're presenting yourself to be. That's what a shit test is. So there's 2 ways to beat it. I'm gonna give you the easiest way. For the more advanced way, where do you come?
Boot camp.
Boot camp, okay? Because I'm gonna give you the basic one. The reason I'm not gonna give you the advanced one right now also is because if I give you the advanced one, you're probably gonna fuck it up and actually make yourself worse. You know, I don't wanna give you something that's gonna hurt yourself. It's like, I'm gonna give you like the 4-inch hunting knife. I'm not gonna give you like the fucking like big like machete at the moment. So you're like, oh, machete. You cut your own arm off trying to use the thing. I'm gonna give you the one that's like feasible for where you are right now, okay? So, a shit test, pretend that was never there. All right. Test. So the test is coming at you. This is you. You're a little happy, and you look sad. Because you're like, I'm going out to meet this person. Why would they say horrible things about me? I'm putting myself out there. I'm exposing myself. Why would they do this to me? Okay? But really what they're trying to do is they're trying to test your congruence. Everybody say that to me. Test your congruence. They're trying to test to see who you really are, your congruence. So don't get mad at it. I actually get happy when I see it because I think it's an opportunity for me to actually speed track the thing. So for example, let's say you want to meet somebody and you want to have an after party with this person. Usually that might take you like 2 to 3 hours of hanging out with them. But if you get these congruence tests earlier, it can happen in 45 minutes. You see, they're a positive thing. These are like don't be sad. Get glad. You're like, yay. Welcome it, like bring it on. You know, a lot of times back in the day, we go into interactions and we would actually like act like a little like chode guy. And then we call it going chode and then explode. Because we'd like welcome the congruence test. So we walk over and be like, hey, I don't have any friends. And they were like, what? Like, I'm just fucking around. I'm sure you see that a lot tonight. Guys are coming up to you like that. And so we go chode and explode. And the person's like, oh, you're actually cool pretending to be like a chode, you know? So we go chode and we explode. Or as you guys might call it these days, bottom G, as you might call it, right? So it's actually a positive thing. We like it when it comes to us. Okay, so the way to beat it is this. Somebody said go under. I don't know where you heard that from, but that's from me. But you kind of butchered it. I would say you want to go under. Here's my little equation. Here's A for answering, right? And exaggerate it times 10. That's how you beat a congruence test. You go under and exaggerate it times 10. You have to answer it, agree to it. Agree to it. Don't disagree, agree to it. Why is it important to agree? Well, if you disagree, you sound defensive. So somebody say something about my clothing.
That's tacky. I hate that.
No, it's not. I become defensive, right? No, it's not. It's cool. I like my shirt. I become defensive, and then a person's like, ha, 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 you have a sensitive ego. Ha, 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 you have an ego. But when you go under, you show you have no ego. Like egoless. In that situation, you have actually found the green tablets. You're egoless. You know, you're like in a moment of Zen, you're selfless. You don't identify as yourself as a person. You're just like, oh, here's information. This is kind of funny, ha ha ha. But this has nothing to do with me. Let me respond to it. That's like on a very, very deep level. Yeah?
Can you explain why like ego defense is unattractive and why no ego is attractive?
Yeah, a person who has no ego defense is able to adapt to situations in life quicker. It shows that you would have better survival and replication value. Somebody who has no ego is able to do things quicker. Like, so for example, a guy that like loses his job, if he loses his job and he sits home and he's like, oh, he feels bad for himself. I lost my job. I suck. I'm not a man. This is not somebody that they want to be around. Versus a guy who's like, I lost my job, so what? I'm gonna go out and hustle anyways. He doesn't take pity on himself. If you have ego, a lot of ego, it's very easy to take pity of yourself if you're very defensive. So people are actually screening for this. The person who's egoless can do a lot more things. The person who's egoless can then go and be a stand-up comic, because that takes a lot of being open. The person who's egoless can take risk in life because they're not worried about how they look to others. That's why being egoless is attractive.
So it's adaptability.
Yes, adaptability and response time. So it's an attractive quality. So the way you do it is you agree to it, you answer and agree, and you exaggerate times 10. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8. Is it 9? Is 9 enough? No, 10. Because if you do it less than that, you're going to still sound like a loser, basically, right? So if I agree to it and I exaggerate a little, it's not going to work. So insult my clothing.
Sucks.
It doesn't suck. I'll agree to it. Yeah, it sucks. I got it out the garbage. That's like agreeing to like times 5. I got it out the garbage. It's like it's not enough. The exaggeration, okay? We'll put like to the power of E, okay? To the power of exaggeration. The exaggeration has to be so far off that it's not even feasible, okay? It's not even feasible. How far off?
Not even feasible.
How far off?
Not even feasible.
How far off?
Not even feasible.
Okay? It can't even be possible in the realm of human experience. Not even possible in the realm of what?
Human experience.
Okay? Because if you don't do that, you just sound like you're compensating, right? So you agree and go under times 10. So somebody like insult my clothing again.
I hate your sweater.
Yeah.
Looks like foreskin.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It actually is foreskin. I went to the grave of my great-grandfathers and dug it up, and I grew it in a cultivated laboratory, and I'm wearing it for fashion. I hope you like it. Okay? Give me another insult. Any insult.
Cheap glasses.
Yeah, they're actually very cheap. I got them from China. I went and I adopted a kid there specifically just to make these glasses for me. Okay? Give me another one. Just any insult.
Louis Vuitton belt.
Huh?
Fake Louis Vuitton belt.
Yeah, actually, it is really fake. I had to go and suck Louis Vuitton's dick to get it. Okay? Give me another one.
Your hairline looks like a Dorito.
That is very creative. I would agree with that. It does look like Doritos. I have a weird trauma associated with Doritos. My mother used to force feed them to me when I was a child. And then she told me she would never love me unless I was a Dorito. And now I still don't love myself. Okay? You have to take it and exaggerate to the point it's not even feasible. This also shows no ego, because I'm saying even more worse things about myself. If you're trying to protect yourself, you're like, oh, it's fine. It's cool, right? It doesn't work. You gotta take it and exaggerate it times 10. All right? This is how it works. Yeah, somebody, question?
Oh, it's not a question.
Oh, you just want to insult me? You have a question?
Are we localizing this idea of having no ego to a social context, or is always having an ego you think a bad thing?
It's for the context of when somebody is shit testing you or congruence testing you. It's useful for that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's useful for that. Yeah.
Can you explain the difference between this sort of self-deprecating humor and like talking shit about yourself in a way to sort of soften your presence like one is attractive, one is unattractive, but I'm not sure about the distinction. You know?
Yeah. Okay, come up. After this, I need to get some water. Getting dehydrated. Okay. So his question is, what's the difference between like self-deprecating yourself and then this being like a congruence test? All right. So we're gonna play a little game here. Okay.
To get humiliated.
No. I'm going to show you the bad way to do it. Okay, I'm going to show you the difference. So, somebody's got like an oil well. Okay, so it's like old like tin from like the 1700s that fell down. Imagine we're in a relationship, or no, imagine we're just like on a date, and you say like, "What's wrong?" Okay. Say,
Okay.
yes.
What's wrong?
Well, you know, I lost my job and like I'm starting to lose my confidence and it's really affecting me, and I wonder if I'm ever gonna get another one because like my boss yelled at me and it's really like starting to make me feel sad, you know, and like then you leave, right? Obviously, right? Like they leave because the attraction dies, right? Versus if you say to me now, you're always late, don't you have a watch?
You're always late. Don't you have a watch?
No, I don't. I just had this like tattoo that I got when I was a child. It's not a birthmark. I got it done at the hospital. It's not on my wrist though. It's on my foreskin, so don't look. Right? Like that is better than trying to defend and be like being vulnerable. I think you're conflating maybe defensiveness, not defensiveness. It was deprecating with being vulnerable. Right? Sometimes people think like deprecating humor it means being vulnerable and exposed. It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying exaggerate it. Make it exaggerated. It actually shows strength when you can exaggerate it, okay? So somebody give us some insults. Give us an insult.
Do you always wear running shoes with your dress clothes?
With my what?
Do you always wear running shoes with your dress clothes?
With my dress clothes? Yeah, I actually escaped across the border. They thought I was Mexican, and so they seized all my good clothes. This is the best that I have right now, and I have a kilo of cocaine up my ass. Okay? Try one for him.
Fake leather jacket.
Yeah, actually it is. I had to skin a goat for this. It wasn't a cow, it was a goat, unfortunately, and that was the best I had. But I had to fuck it first, you know, to like get it submission.
It was a consensual goat fuck.
Right.
Let's make that clear for everybody.
It was showing me IO eyes.
Yeah. You want to make that clear, okay? At any point, the goat could have removed its consent, and then we would have totally backed off. Just want to make that super clear for anybody that's
Yeah.
okay.
I got it to sign a waiver, but it just spat on it, and that's how it
Okay, give us another one for him.
You look like a wannabe fuckboy.
Yep, that's about right. Actually, you know, what I used to do is I was studying Madison actually yesterday, and he was talking about being the last fuckboy, and I was like, no, I want to be the last fuckboy. So I actually was like looking through Google Images, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna wear that.
Good. Okay, we're putting the pressure on him because he's up here and there's like lights. Okay, give him one more.
Your 5 o'clock shadow is so thin, it's 4 o'clock shadow.
Well, yeah, you know what? Actually, I flew in from Montreal yesterday, so I'm actually a few hours ahead.
Good job.
Yeah. Cheers, man.
Thank you. And by the way, you gotta give him a bro hug later, so it's not like beef afterwards, you know. And he's like, this motherfucker, he like spits in your water when you go to the bathroom. Okay. So we're gonna try this again. Get into your groups of 4. I'm gonna give you 5 minutes to do this in groups of 4, and you know, play around with it. And again, of course, bro hugs, bro love after you're done. No hard feelings. It's just a game, but it'll teach you to deal with pressure. Okay? 5 minutes. Let's go.